Hello and welcome back to Randomly Generated Conversations. Today's topics are: how healthy is your diet? Is there a dress code at your school or workplace? What's a memorable place you've visited? Do you spring out of bed in the morning or do you need more time to wake up? So how healthy is your diet, Bastian?
How healthy would you count cheeseburgers, fries? I'm just kidding, no. My diet, I would say, is a little healthier. We've been trying to go healthier with stuff we've been eating and stuff like that. So, healthy-ish?
I'd say we're pretty healthy, actually, in what we eat. Due to IBS, there's a lot of things that I've already cut out of the diet. I don't eat a lot of fat or oils, lard, a lot of shortening or any of that. It just upsets my stomach. We don't eat a lot of bread or pasta, really. Every now and again we'll eat that. So a lot of the carbs as well. If I make a pizza, that's about the only time we really eat bread. We don't even keep loaves of bread in the house. Or maybe years ago we used to because it was easy to make school sandwiches, but nowadays we don't even buy bread that often. Even tortillas, we don't have that often around here. So we don't eat a lot of that. We've been switching from rice to brown rice or quinoa. We don't eat a lot of sugar. Sodas are too sweet for us. We don't eat really milk chocolate or a lot of candy. We choose even our desserts. If we make a cake, we very seldom have frosting on it.
Yeah.
So I'd say in general we're pretty healthy with what we eat. And there's always improvement. Yes, every now and again we'll go out and get a hamburger or something, which probably isn't the healthiest, or fries. But that's not a daily meal for us either.
Daily meal. School corn dogs. Just kidding.
Yeah, you're eating corn dogs like every day at school. That's probably not the healthiest.
That's probably not the healthiest. No, I don't eat them every day at school. Sometimes I forget to pack a lunch and I just skip lunch. I'm like, you know what? I'm not hungry today. I'm just going to skip it. I shouldn't afford, I shouldn't forget. That's what I mean. I shouldn't afford myself forgetting lunch. Because I'm already skinny as is.
Right?
No,
I don't think you could handle missing a meal.
I don't eat much either. Sometimes I will eat a lot, but when I don't, I don't. No,
sometimes I'll eat, but when I don't eat, I don't eat.
Mm-hmm. But sometimes, I don't feel like eating as much and stuff like that.
Yeah, and maybe once a week we'll do dessert with a meal.
Yeah, well, not even once a week. I think it's once every other week.
Yeah, it might be once every other week. Just in general, red meats, we don't eat that very often either. We've just made a lot of adjustments due to gut health and everything. And I think we're on the right track. We can always improve, but I think in general we have a healthy diet.
Yeah.
And with you guys, you have no choice except for to follow, to go along with it. So that was kind of a trick question. How healthy do you eat? Well, that depends on what we're making. Because if we left it to you to make stuff, it'd be ramen noodles and not even toast, because you don't know how to use a toaster.
If it was me, what's it called? If it was me eating healthy, then yeah, I'm eating healthy. If it's my siblings, they're going and searching for snacks in the cupboards.
That's true. Oh, I'm full. And half their plate's still there on the table.
Yeah, they're sneaking in.
30 minutes later, I'm hungry. What can I eat? Can I have a bowl of cereal or can I have a snack? you just said you were full, and that's okay. I'll give that to you. But if you're now 30 minutes later asking for something to eat, you go finish the food that you didn't eat.
And they say, no, I'm full again. And then, yeah.
Mm-hmm. As if you never do that. Just kidding, you actually eat pretty good. Now you're a teenager.
If I get full, then it's actually I'm full.
Yeah, but you also know when to stop, so it's not like you just keep eating endlessly either. You're like, okay, I'm good, and I'll... So that's good.
I've learned my limit on, like, when to eat, like, what I can eat, and then how long. If it's, like, a big thing, then I'll start getting, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this. So, with cake, when I was little, I used to be able to, like, eat a piece of cake, I'm pretty sure, without feeling like, oh, I can't eat. I'm not getting sugared out. I eat a piece of cake that's, like, frosting and stuff like that. If I have, like, a big piece, because I can eat two, right? I can eat 2 pieces of cake, but it's, like, smaller pieces because we cut them small if we get cake.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm eating, like, a big piece, eventually I get so sweeted out that it feels like I'm going to throw up. But it's, like, frosting still in my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, how am I supposed to finish this? I can go with a couple desserts, but the instant that I get sugared out, I can't anymore.
Yeah, when I was young, I used to love the frosting on cake. And when I first got married, I would still eat it. My wife, when she gets a piece of cake, first thing she'll do is scrape off all the frosting and put it on the side. And I found that I start doing that more. Instead of eating the frosting first from the top, I'll start eating the part of the cake that doesn't have the frosting, and a lot of times they end up leaving some of the frosting there on the cake. Or not on the cake, on the plate.
Something I realized that we've been doing more often if we ever do make cake is that we'll cut the cake wrong. We'll cut it with... So, you cut the cake normally in triangles, right? Unless you're the people that cut it in squares.
If it's a round cake.
Yes, if it's not a round cake.
I should try that with one of the rectangle cakes. I should start cutting in triangles since that's how you want it.
No, please, no. No, I have a thing. I hate it. It's one of my biggest pet peeves. It's cake cut wrong. We had this skull cake. Like, we made this cake that looked like a skull. My dad decides to cut a triangle, like a tiny triangle from the middle of the cake. And I'm like, no, that's not where you're supposed to... And then he cuts a circle and a square out of different chunks of the cake. And, like, that's even... it drove me crazy.
I did it just to bug you.
Because they know that it bugs me if it's cut wrong. I mean, my mom, sometimes she'll cut the cake and it's, like, slightly off because she cut the cakes a little bit off. And it's like, maybe just cut this tiny piece off and then it will fix it. No, it's okay. She'll start cutting it in squares and a round cake into squares. And I'm like, oh.
That's how it should be. That way you get smaller pieces. Those triangle pieces are too big. Even though it doesn't look good, it's the right way to do it. Yep.
And that's with brownies. Brownies and, like, cookie brownies. Like, if you have, like, the cookies where they're, like, inside a tin, not a tin, like, one of those things. I don't know how to explain it, but, like, the stuff you use for brownies and casseroles and stuff like that. You cut those into squares. Most definitely, you cut those into squares.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a cake. A cake, you cut into triangles if it's a circle. If it's a square, you cut into squares. Wait, no. Yeah. And if it's a triangle cake, you cut into circles, because then you have the corners are cut into circles. And then,
Wait. A triangle cake, you cut into circles.
Yes, because you cut the circle cake into triangles.
Okay. I'm going to do that next. I'm going to make a triangle
Never
cake.
mind.
Just so I cut it into circles, right, for you.
No, thank you.
It's like when you order a pizza, right? and you get the pizza where they didn't cut it right down the middle. They kind of cut it off center. So now all the other pieces, you have really big ones and really small ones. And that does bug me a little bit. I try to cut my pizza pretty evenly. I mean, I'm there with a ruler and everything, but...
One of my dad's friends, and the parent to one of my friends, I don't know how to explain it right now. Anyway, he over here, he cuts the pizza wrong, and I'm like, I don't really like that the pizza's cut wrong. He's like, oh, do you want me to get you a fork and knife too? So just to prove a point, I grabbed a fork and knife and ate my pizza with a fork and knife. Let's just say I'd do it again, but like it still bugged me.
So at your school or workplace, do you have a dress code?
Oh yeah, my workplace I have a definite dress code. No, I don't work. I don't technically have a job. I mean, helping you guys with stuff is technically my job, and I don't have a dress code there yet. Dress code for home, pajamas maybe. But dress code for school is just make sure it's something appropriate, it's not inappropriate, and that's basically it.
Yeah, like they don't let you wear your Speedo to school.
Yeah, come on, why not? No, I don't have a Speedo. I don't think.
But in elementary school and junior high, because you were in a charter school, you had a uniform.
But they like kept adding colors every year, and it was eventually they're just gonna make it so that you can wear whatever as long as it's a polo shirt of any color and like pants of either gray, black, tan, blue. Eventually it's just gonna be there's gonna be green pants and you can wear your green pants to school and all that stuff. Because right now they had only like 3 shirt colors when I was there.
Mm-hmm.
Red, white, and blue. Those are the only ones you could wear. Then they added black, then they added green, then they added gray, and every year they added like a different shirt color, and it's like, oh.
They didn't add one this last year.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, because I looked at the dress code for your brother and sister, so I am sure about that.
Okay.
Okay. It is nice to not have to wear a uniform.
Yeah.
Although, as a parent, uniforms were easy for us. It was sometimes harder to find them, but we knew what you were going to wear each day. We didn't have to worry about that.
I just wear whatever's in my closet, really. So, really quick. Funny thing is, so girls, they'll take forever, like, choosing their clothes. This might look good, or maybe this not. This, yes. Guys, as long as it's clean and doesn't smell like BO, I'm putting it on.
Except for teenagers, even if it does smell like BO, they're putting it on.
Exactly! I have a jacket that...
But you say that, but your sister is ready faster in the morning than you guys are.
Because she has everything set out and everything. Our bedroom looks like a tornado mixed with a hurricane came through. And then, yeah, a quote from my friend. And if you're listening to this, I quote you. It was, you know something's wrong when a teenager's bedroom is cleaner than it was before. Like a teenage boy's bedroom is cleaner than it was before. Because if they clean it on purpose, you know something's wrong. If it's not dirty.
Suspicious.
If it's not dirty, then something's wrong.
It's clean. What are they trying to hide?
Exactly.
Or what are they trying to get? And that's when they're going to ask, hey, can I have a car? Right?
Or a lava lamp.
Or a lava lamp.
That's what I got for Christmas.
He wanted, ever since he was a little kid, wanted a lava lamp. And
I wanted an alarm clock,
we
too.
were always
My
like,
alarm clock
why
didn't work.
would you want a lava lamp? So we didn't get him one for a long time. And then we're like, you know what? There's nothing wrong with a lava lamp. We'll get him a lava lamp.
And sometimes you'll come in our room, you just lay on our bed, staring at the lava lamp, and take a nap.
Well, it reminds me of back when I was a kid and, you know... Oh, wait, I'm not that old, right? I did want a lava lamp when I was a kid.
And your parents never got you one.
But I was after the age where the lava lamps were a big thing. And my parents were the same way. Like, why would he want a lava lamp? Lava lamps are not that cool. But
the coolest
they
thing
is
ever.
kind of relaxing. I mean, so yeah, sometimes I watch your lava
That's what it says on the
lamp.
box. It says, go and travel on a relaxing whatever. It literally says, go and travel on, like, some sort of relaxing thing. It's like, Yeah, lay down, wander, let your mind wander as you're looking at this relaxing lava lamp, and then that's what it says.
Yeah, it is visual stimulation.
It sounds kind of like our
nice.
Music.
Right? In my workplace, do I have a dress code?
I don't think so, as long as you're wearing like a t-shirt and some pajama pants.
Only if I'm answering the door.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I don't even have to be wearing, well, yes, I do have to be wearing something. But I could be wearing jammies or whatever unless I'm answering the door. So no, I don't really have a dress code. Sometimes I find it easier to stay focused if I dress up as if I'm going to work.
Yeah. P.S. Jammies or pajamas, because not that many people do that. Our family does mostly jammies. I know a lot of people say PJs or pajamas, just like that. I don't hear that many people saying jammies anymore.
Really?
Yeah, that's why I usually say jammies with our family.
We used to always call them jammies. You jamming in your jammies, right?
You want to come over to my house and play?
Jamming with Grammy in your jammy? Anyway, so what's a memorable place you visited?
Memorable?
Memorable.
So, like,
yeah.
a place that I enjoyed going to, sort of, and it was memory lane, basically?
Yeah.
I have two places, and these both weren't memory lane. These were just memorable.
Uh-huh.
That's a fun word to say.
It's only hard when you think about saying it. If you're saying it in a sentence, it's not that hard. But if you're reading it and thinking about saying it, that's when it becomes hard.
Yeah, but two places that were memorable, there we go, were, so, with my choir, I had went with, and it's both times with my choir. So, the first time, I went to Disney World.
Okay.
With my school, and that was a memorable place. You went with us, I remember that.
We were chaperones.
It was fun. You guys chaperoned my group, and it was lots of fun. It was a memorable place. My other one was the Grizzlies game that I went to with my choir, because
it's not like
hockey.
It's not a game where, or a thing where, you have people fighting like grizzly bears. Grizzly is the name of the hockey team we have here.
Yeah, and I've been enjoying that because I don't usually watch hockey on the TV and stuff like that. But I found a sport that's more enjoyable to me. Hockey's pretty enjoyable one. It may be the most dangerous sport out there because I've heard a couple things so you could break your teeth or you get your neck accidentally slit because somebody accidentally puts their skate up.
I think there's
it's a pretty dangerous
much
sport.
more dangerous sports than
as
hockey,
long as you protect yourself, then yeah, there's more dangerous sports. But if you're not if you have the perfect padding and you're okay, you're not gonna be losing different things. You're not gonna
be losing limbs, You
could break your shins if you're not wearing padding. We played
and soccer. Soccer, I've seen so many people hurt their shins. People think soccer's not that dangerous. To me, it's one of the most dangerous ones out there. I've seen so many injuries in soccer.
Football's the most dangerous, except for the padding and stuff that you wear. Mm-hmm. If you get trampled with me, saying I'm going with dangerous sports. That would be for me. Mm-hmm. Football would be a really dangerous one because I wouldn't make any I wouldn't be able to play it, or I'd be trampled and everything would break more than likely because I have twig arms. And twig legs. And I have a villain walk that's funny
with the really long legs.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'd be a twig arm, twig leg person playing football.
Get snapped in two.
Mm-hmm. That's same with hockey. I'd love to play hockey, but you see there's actually a couple I'm not saying that there's a lot of skinnier people playing hockey too, but
they're not as bulked up as your basketball and football players.
But for me, I can barely skate. So the instant I fall, I'm going to get my hand destroyed.
I guess that's kind of a prerequisite to play hockey, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, you kind of got to learn to skate first.
I've learned how to skate, pretty good. So, I can skate okay, and if my shoelaces aren't gigantically big, ice skating-wise. But I know how to skate, sort of, and I've been doing way better, ice skating.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't fallen as much. I fell once the last time I went. The other time I fell like 10 times and I couldn't do it correctly. But I fell once the first time. So, that first and second time, so.
And to me, this is off topic, but the most dangerous sport is golf. Right? You throw your back out by swinging and...
Golf's the safest, almost safest sport.
No, not if you have that golf ball flying at you. I mean,
okay,
that can
I'm not meaning
knock
like
you
that.
out.
I'm meaning like safest, like it's just hitting a ball.
As long as you're rotating good. I mean, there's golf injuries. If you're just hacking away at the ball, you can really rotate wrong and hurt yourself. So,
I remember, and this is gonna sound so, like, hey, that's super mean. Why did you do that? And sorry to the person that I was. A group of us with this little group of us, we went over to put some balls over, I don't remember where. Somebody said, like, one of the people that was chaperoning said, hey, we're gonna give you ice cream if you can hit the person that's collecting the balls with a golf ball. Like, not the person, but, like, the machine.
they have a cart that's covered in
cages and stuff like that.
and everything.
And I'm over here and I'm like, I want ice cream, so I hit the ball and it hits the thing. It was like one of my last golf balls. It hits it, it makes this ting, and you hear it from far away. And then I was sharing another bucket of golf balls, but we got the ice cream. Because it was either you launch it to the farthest you can go, like the farthest it can go, and nobody was getting that. Or it was hitting that person that was inside there. Not hitting the person, the cage.
Do not condone that type of activity.
I kind of messed up and I launched it too far, and I think I hit an actual golf cart at one point, too.
No, they couldn't have done that. There's the range itself is also enclosed where you guys went. I know the area of where you guys went.
Okay, because somebody's got mad at us and said, hey, don't hit our golf cart again.
That was probably the guy you were hitting the golf balls at who was out there collecting golf balls.
Might have been. I don't know.
Hey, stop using me as target practice. Again, I do not condone that type of activity.
Yes, not with a golf club. You get one of those little launcher things, you shove a bunch of golf balls into there, and you start shooting them at the thing.
Moving on. Oh, wait, I didn't even talk about my memorable place.
What was your memorable place?
A memorable place I visited. I mean, that was pretty memorable going to Disney World, mostly because it was going to Florida. I've been to most of the states here on the West Coast area, like from Utah, Colorado area, and west. Been south, like through Oklahoma, Texas area. But that's the first time I've been east here in the U.S. So it's kind of cool to go there.
Yeah, I'd never been to Florida either.
One place I always remember since I was a little kid was going to San Antonio, Texas. Just going to the different war missions down there. Not just the Alamo, but the other ones. I remember the heat. I remember going to San Antonio Zoo. I remember going to a street market that was really big, and people were playing music and everything in the market. And being a kid and still having that memory today, I'd say that's probably one of the most memorable places I've gone to was San Antonio, Texas.
So, this is going to sound random, but do you remember, anything that was said back then, though?
Yes, I remember making one of my other sisters mad because we had... At that point, it wasn't the whole family, so it was my dad, my mom, and the two sisters that are closest to me. The older brother and older sister were already married by that point. Or were for some reason not on the trip.
Okay.
And the oldest of the sisters that was there, she was the sister that I always dubbed the fun sister, because she would always think of the fun stuff to do and be spontaneous. But she wasn't feeling that good, and I'm like, she can't stay here in the hotel because it won't be fun without her. And the other sister, who was closer to my age, was like, what, are you saying I'm not fun? And she got really offended, really mad at me for saying that. But that's really the only thing. I also remember we got into a sketchy part of town, and we were there because my dad had work down there. Okay. And so we kind of went there so we could be on vacation while he had the meetings at work. And so he wasn't with us at that time. I was probably 8, 9 years old, and I was the only boy there. So we got into this questionable part of town, and we needed to ask directions to get out of there. It wasn't like nowadays where you just fire up a GPS. We didn't have a map of Texas, and we didn't have we didn't have cell phones, let alone cell phones that had a map or anything on it, or the GPS on it. So they sent me into this, what I remember and I thought was a gas station, but it was also kind of like a bar type place too, because I remember some guys sitting drinking at a bar there. So it couldn't have been a gas station. So I don't know. But it was in this really sketchy part of town. And none of them wanted to go in there, rightfully so. So they sent this 8, 9-year-old kid in there to go ask for directions. I get inside and everybody's looking at me like, what are you doing here? As they're looking down from their drinks and everything. And I asked for directions, but do you think I remembered them by the time I got back to the car at 8 or 9 years old?
No, not at all.
No, so I did the best I could relaying the information, and I mean, somehow we found our way back. I doubt it was from what I said or any help of mine. But yeah, those are really I don't necessarily remember everything that was said. I remember that conversation. I remember little things like I wanted one of the little pan flutes that the guys were playing over there. And they were selling CDs of their music and then the little pamphlets. That's why they play them and everything, is to do that. But I don't remember the conversation.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is, they play them so that you'll buy them. You know, you can never sound as good as they do. And then so you could buy the CDs and stuff. I remember getting a shirt down there that had like a chili pepper on it and said something about San Antonio. But I remember those things, but that's true. Like you said, I don't really remember what was said.
So, a quote that my Spanish teacher was telling us, because she had found these, like, random quotes and stuff like that. It was, people will forget what you said. Mm-hmm. People will forget people forget what you said. People will easily forgive and stuff, not forgive. People will easily, forget whatever else. I don't remember what the other thing was.
Uh-huh.
But people won't forget how they feel.
Mm-hmm.
So, the feelings that you get from the different things, different teachers and stuff like that, different places, different memorable things, it's just, you'll have the feelings with you. You just won't remember as many things said. The reason why you remember some of the things that were said are, the things that are, actually made somebody else angry. Or,
right, that spark those emotions. That's why I remember that. That's very interesting. I never realized that. Look at you being well, it wasn't you that's being philosophical. It was your teacher.
It was my Spanish teacher.
And you can't even remember the full quote, so.
But in our house, I am very philosophical.
Your name is not Phil.
No,
and we did not put your middle name as Sophical. Philosophical Sellers. Just kidding. So.
Yes?
Do you spring out of bed in the morning, or do you need more time to wake up?
More time. Because we get up and we have the shower and stuff like that. The instant we get out of the shower, we go straight back to bed.
I hate it.
You dislike it. Hate is not a word in the house.
I dislike it. I get them up for a reason. And then, can I at least go back to bed till 6:20? Fine. And then, can I stay till 6:30? No. 6:30 comes around. They're finally getting up, finally getting ready. And then we have to be out of the door a little after 7. But at 7 o'clock, they're barely coming downstairs and trying to figure out what they want to eat. They're like, but I don't have time to eat. Now you got to take me to breakfast at school or whatever. And I'm like, I woke you up at 5:30. You should have had some time to eat, but instead you went back to sleep.
Yes, because we plan getting our clothes and stuff.
Hate it. I dislike it. Sorry.
There. So, we get our clothes and stuff ready, right? We make sure that our clothes and things are ready. But then we'll go back to sleep as long as our clothes are ready, and then we can get quickly dressed. And it still takes us forever because we talk for a while. And my brother, he's not a morning person at all. And he's going to say the exact same thing about me. But he over here, I'll be like, okay, I'm going to turn on the light. No, my eyes! And covers his face with a blanket, falls back to sleep. And then I wake him up, and it's like, so we slept till 6:30, right? I wake him up, and he's like, what time is it? I'm like, 6:40. He's like, what? And then he gets mad at me for not waking him up.
Even if it is 6:30 when you guys go downstairs, you walk around for a half hour instead of grabbing something to eat. Like, you have everything there, and then at 7, hey, what can I eat for breakfast? You had a half hour to figure something else out, right? I mean, yes, I should be going down and making, bacon, eggs, this full course breakfast every morning, but I'm not a morning person anymore. I mean, I used to have to get up at 4:30 to be to work by 5, but I don't have to do that anymore. So I get up at 5:30 to wake you up, and then I go back to bed until 6:30.
And I go and set
when I have to wake you guys back up at that point.
I usually wake myself up with the alarm. As long as it goes off.
Sometimes, yes.
Because I've had alarms, so I had an alarm in one class because we had, a little bit of extra time that we, didn't have to do anything. I remember it was physics.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have to do anything in this class because we finished and we were ahead of all the other classes. So I took a little nap. It didn't have any sound, the alarm. It just had a vibration. It woke me up because I felt it, felt my arms vibrating and my dream just got messed up. As if it was vibrating, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. And yeah, it was fun.
I was always cursed when I tried to sleep at school. I had the falling dream curse. Every single time I would fall asleep in a class at school, I would have a falling dream. And when you jerk awake from a falling dream, everybody around you gets scared. Like, what is going on?
It's happened to me too. I've had a couple falling dreams.
Every single time. And so I very quickly learned that I could not afford to fall asleep in class because I couldn't get away with it because the teacher would know the moment I'm jerking up awake from a falling dream.
We had somebody in one of my classes, I think it was also physics class. They were the first instance, she's like, okay. This was when we were learning a little more stuff before she's like, we're too ahead, we can't go further. She's, this one girl, I remember it, she's over here, she's sitting down, looking at her computer. The instant the teacher goes, okay, we're going to learn something new, she was out. She was, asleep and asking people for help on the homework and stuff like that. And because we had finished that pretty quickly, she ran over with us, the homework, the teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And we got that pretty quickly done. And then I'm like, I'm going to go to sleep. And it wasn't actual sleep. It's just more a mental nap. Because I can't fall asleep or the teacher will catch you.
Mm-hmm.
So you close your eyes for a minute, but you look up and you shrink in your seat because these seats are adjustable seats. And yeah, it helps. But when I don't get enough
imagine
sleep,
you shrinking. It's like from Alice in Wonderland.
No, I remember doing something. So this was another physics thing. Sorry about this. And it was about sleep. I was having this horrible headache, right? And this was that day. I was doing the I had a physics lab thing that I had to do, but it was all my safe stuff was on the laptop, and I had to finish writing a couple conclusions, and that was it. Well, the worst part about, like, that was I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm going to start working on history homework. History homework was so much fun yet boring, because I hate having to read stuff from history, that I started falling asleep. The teacher goes, Bastion, what you working on? And I'm like, I'm working on history, plus I fell asleep for like 2 minutes thinking that in my head. I'm like, I'm working on history. She's like, this is the class of physics. I'm like, well, I only had one assignment I had to do, and it's at home, and you told me that I had a little extended time. She's like, oh yeah, I forgot. And she still was like, we'll work on something physics-wise when I'm done with all the homework, and I can't do anything physics-wise. It was
You
weird.
could be studying for your next test. There's plenty of stuff you could still do for the class.
It's true. Momentum test. I don't remember when that is. It's either Tuesday or Thursday.
Mm-hmm. You better start studying now so you could gain that momentum.
Oh my goodness. No, but I have a great understanding about momentum and stuff like that. That one, after my friend that's like the nerd of physics helped me out with like a couple problems and stuff like that, I started understanding it way more. I'm like, oh my goodness, this makes way more sense. Okay, I should start doing this and this and this and this. That eventually it's like, okay, I can start scoring a little higher on certain tests because I get help from friends that I know help.
So your tests get higher and higher and higher, so what do you call that? Momentum.
Oh,
Have a good day, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
thank you so much.